Sorry, my beautiful people, I'm back again. This is still your one and only Maase Ihan Chukwanyang. I'm back. We'll be having some connection problem. I don't know. I wouldn't want to blame anybody for it, but there is a lot of it has been there have been a lot of challenges. Having a strong connection, but it never happened before. I don't know why it's happening today. I'm doing my program. Yeah, but all the same, back to what we are saying. I was talking about the Oni of Ife, coming out boldly and strongly to stamp his feet on what he declared about some few days ago. And the unfortunate part of the whole thing is that over 60% of the so-called Igbos are blind and deaf about who they are. Because they've been blinded by religion, they've been blinded by Christianity. Some of them are carried away by the notion of them being Israel or Igbo Jewish Israel. I don't know how to put it. So there are a lot of Igbos who are convinced within themselves, and they are passionate about it, that they are from Israel. Now, what the Oni of Ife, if you as an Igbo man cannot take anything home, let's forget about the so-called politics about it. If you as an Igbo man cannot take anything home, at least take that home. What the Oni of Ife said is just a wake-up call for most of you who are still stupidly soaked into Christianity. What he said is a wake-up call. If there is nothing you are taking away home, take that thing home. Let me tell you the implications. Or let me tell you the heaviness of what he said. Oni of Ife, directly, not indirectly, directly has told you that you are the first people on earth. That means it is your forefathers, your ancestors, that gave birth to the ancestors of the so-called Abraham, if there is any Abraham that ever existed. You did not come from Abraham, but Abraham came from you. Because he said it. This is a custodian of the culture and tradition, one of the strongest personalities that we have in Africa as a continent. He cannot lie when it comes to history and tradition. If anybody knows what he's saying, the Oni of Ife is sure of what he is saying. He can't come out and make any house statement. As long as it's coming from his own mouth, the Oni of Ife knows exactly. And we believe that the Igbos as a people, if you don't want to listen to Maase Anyanwu and you don't want to listen to other brothers and sisters who have been trying to pass this gospel, put this into your head. Now ask yourself, what has the Oni of Ife got to gain by lying to you or by saying something that is not true? He's not promoting the Yoruba culture, he's talking about the Igbo culture. But he's trying to tell you the connection that we have with Yoruba, that we are not different people, we are one and the same people. But that aside, that should be another story for another day. Now, what am I trying to say? That you were the first people on earth. That you did not come out of the Jews, but the Jews came out of you. You are the one that produced the Jews. You are the one that brought forth to your so-called Abraham, your so-called Jacob or whatever. If actually they existed, they came out of you. And that is not enough. He told you, because we all know, if you look at the Yoruba spiritual setting, you will know Obatala. Or Nanyibo. He is the one that gave birth to the whole of Igbos. So you must understand that for the up-to-date, that he is being honored by our Yoruba brothers and sisters. They still honor our own father, Nanyibo, in the personality of what we know today as Obatala. He told you, and he made a very strong statement concerning that you, as an Igbo man, and everything he said, if you look at it, if you check the life of the Igbos, you see that everything he said is exactly the way it is. That you are being driven by this force that controls finance, because it is part of who you are. You are created for wealth. You know how to celebrate wealth. You know how to acquire wealth. You know how to make wealth, because it is in your DNA. It's not something that is strange with you. It is something that your body, your whole spirit, your whole being is familiar with. And that is why anywhere you see an Igbo man, he can easily make it in life. Because we are created in the atmosphere that controls the God of wealth, if there is, the God of prosperity. And that was what they were celebrating. They were celebrating the presence of prosperity. And it is we that initiated it. We still have it. That is why you see Igbos scaling through in any place they are, making it in no matter what the business they are doing. You will see them somehow they will find a way to come, out strong and successful. It's not because you are smarter than others. It is something that you have in you. It is something that you came with. It is because of the lineage, your clan. That is what they know, and that is what is associated with such a clan. And that is what they were celebrating. They were celebrating wealth. And wealth is associated with the Igbo clan. And he said it was the first people, it was these people, these same Igbo people, that first initiated the celebration of this wealth. And he gave reasons why. Now, why am I trying to present what he said? Because it's like many of us are trying to push it off. Some of us are saying it's because of the tension that is in Lagos. Fine, there is tension, there is political tension between two brothers. But at the end of the day, who is causing this tension? It's the politicians who are gaining from our stupidity. They set us up to kill ourselves, and while they themselves are enjoying whatever they are enjoying, so that we will not have we will be distracted. We won't have time to question them on what we have assigned them to do for us. So let us not allow that to distract us. But what the Oni said is something that is very strong and powerful. And I appreciate him as a leader for coming out strong with the truth, to tell you that you have been putting your hope on false walls, false foundation, to make you understand that as an Igbo man, that you are much, much bigger than the so-called people you are looking up to, as those that produced you. That it did not come from Israel, that Israel came out of you. It is very simple. It is hard for many of you to accept. It is hard for many of you to admit that the so-called Jewish people came out of you. And remember, they came when humanity was created. You were there before humanity. Your ancestors were there during the time it was only divinity that was on earth here. And there was nobody that looked different from the way I look then. During the time of divinity, the whole people who were on this planet, so-called planet, look like me. They look like me. So your God can never look different. Since you've chosen to have a God, your God can never look different. If he looks different, then know there is something wrong, because every other thing that looks different from this man you are seeing here came after humanity was introduced. When they talk about the gods were those that look like this man. He tried to make you understand that. But the time that it was only those who were divine were existing before they created humans, that it was your forefathers that were here, and where everybody was living in the same thick forest. And I believe he was referring to Ile-Ife. So many times we try to tell you this, teach you this. But each time we speak, many of you will ask, what is the evidence? This thing you are saying, how sure are we? Once you believe, how sure are you? Show me the evidence that make you believe it. Is it because the stories were written in a book and gave to you? What is the evidence? You are asking me for evidence. There is Ile-Ife there. There is Ile-Ife there. The Ile-Ife is still existing. It's not, Ile-Ife has not disappeared. Ile-Ife is still existing. Many of you that believe, you believe because there is a place called Jerusalem. So why won't you believe me now? Because there is a place called Ile-Ife. Why is it that we have this self-hate? We hate everything that is supposed to be ours. We question it. But whatever that is given to us that is foreign, we embrace it. You see the problem that we have? It is easy for you to open your mouth and ask questions when somebody is telling you the truth, even the truth. But just because that truth has something to do with Africa, it has something to do with homeland, then you start questioning it. But when they tell you something that is outside, if I tell you now that you know that California is the highest holy ground, many of you will believe it. Because we are talking about America. If I tell you now that, do you know that in Italy, rope is holy, you will believe it. Because it's about Europe. This is the highest level of stupidity. That it is in your village does not make it not, that is your village doesn't make it less holy. When you hear something, you research. Try to find out if you've been lied to or what we are saying is the truth. It's as simple as that. So, but the fact that we are saying something and it has to do with Africa does not make it less important. Rather, it is something that should even raise your interest. He spoke. And most of the people that have encountered me, I shared the video. I sent it to them. Because I sat down and listened to that video. I listened to that video more than 10 times. And I never knew that a traditional ruler can come out so strong and powerful to stamp his feet on the truth. Because I know that most of them know the truth. They are just hiding away, avoiding it because of politics. But he stood his ground and declared what is truth. And I respect and admire that man for it. Because he has shown me that we still have a king in Africa. We still have a king, an emperor in Africa. He has shown me that. While others are bending towards the Western lies, he came out to establish a strong truth. The question is, will we, the so-called Igbos, understand who we are? Will we accept who we are? When are we going to embrace this truth? Why are we running away from this truth? What is it about this truth that is making us afraid? Why is it that we are still in denial? Is it because it's going to take away the fact that you are dreaming of going to heaven? Is it because that it's going to take away the fact that you will no longer be in that heaven? What is it? What is your fear? Why are you afraid? That if you accept the fact that the Bible was written to deceive you, that the so-called Jewish people came out of you, that the so-called Jewish story is a story that they derived or they took from what happened around your neighborhood and made it a story and brought it back to you. What are you afraid of? To embrace the truth and know in you that everything that you were told or taught right from when you were a child till date We are all built on lies. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Afraid of embracing the truth? Afraid of realizing that you've been fooled, just like many of us have been fooled. What are you afraid of? I just want to know, what is it exactly that is making you fear? You are afraid. You don't want to identify yourself as an African. What are you afraid of? I just want to know, because it's like our people prefer to live in denial than to embrace this truth that is obvious. This naked truth that cannot be hidden. This truth that is coming out from all corners. Our people are afraid of embracing it. Why is it that every other person knows who we are except we ourselves? What are we afraid of? Many of us, you will ask them, they say, yeah, but what is but in the matter? Walking out of lies. You still find yourself in the church and you still know that the church is built on false foundation. You still find yourself in the mosque and you know that the mosque is built on false foundation. What is your fear? What is your fear? Why are you still in the church? You know, you say, they will tell you, I know. All these stories, all these Bible stories, they are all lies. But you go to church every day. Is that not stupidity of the highest order? Did you come into this earth to waste your life and your time? Why don't you be productive for yourself? The time you're wasting attending to all these lies, sitting down to listen to these stories that doesn't make any meaning. Because you were told it makes you feel good. Somebody will feed you with lies. You go out and nothing in those stories works for you. And when you come back, they will tell you what you didn't do that never made it work. My dear, life have a lot to do with practical things. That is why it is called a physical world. Yes, we understand the spiritual aspect of it, but there must be practical results, tangible things that you can touch, things that you can feel, things that will have effect, direct effect on your life. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing. Once you are not getting that physical results that will bring a change, then know that whatever you're doing is not working. It doesn't matter the story somebody gives you behind it. It's not working. It's not working. For example, I started this video initially and I had to stop because the network was not connected. It's simple. It's not working. It's not working. If I had continued to speak, maybe I'll be wasting my time because the network is not working. So if it's working, there will be a physical evidence that it is actually working. Then I know that I'm connected. I'm connected. This is how life is. You are in a place for 5 good years. Instead of your life improving or progressing, things are getting worse. And you still have hope that one day it will be okay. When you are not doing anything different, the same thing you've been doing for 5 years is the same thing you'll be doing, the same triangular implementations. Then how do you expect to get a different result? That is the highest level of stupidity. You want to get a different result, then you have to do something. You have to do something different from what you've been doing. You have to do something different from what you've been doing. Many of you, you were born in the church. You went to church. Each time you go, your problem increases. And they are not telling you that this is not the way. And you've seen it, that nothing has worked for you. All the prayers you've been praying is like as if you are not praying. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they are telling you something that is practical. Something that is practical. Something that you can relate to. Something that you don't need anybody, any prophet or even any native doctor to tell you. Something that you can do as a person. Then you are refusing it because it is against your church ethics or your church belief or whatever they leveled it. At the end of the day, you are rejecting that. And you are hoping that somehow somebody will come and do a magic wand. One savior from somewhere that doesn't even look like you will come and bring you out of the mess you are in when you have the capacity to deliver yourself out of that mess. Is that not stupidity? Is that not wasting your life and your time? Today is about to end, and once today is gone, it's gone forever. It can never come back again. This today now, it will go and it will go forever. You ask yourself, you spend your whole day in the church. What did you achieve today? Nothing. And yet you still complain. You have no money to pay your students' school fees. You have no money to eat. But you've been praying. Are you praying? This so-called God you people pray to, that you say he's a righteous God. Why are you not praying so that he will not deceive somebody to give you his hard or hard-earned money? There is no righteousness in it now. If somebody is going to give you his or her, the person that made the money, and you're praying for somebody to die so that you will inherit somebody's money. No, look at the concept. Why are you wasting? You have to be productive. Why don't you pray for an idea? Okay, if prayer works, pray for an idea so that you will use the idea to develop something and then make money out of it. But you are looking for somebody that will give you money and you will die it. You are praying, touch the heart of the person you are touching the heart to give you money. Let somebody come and give you money. Let somebody come and support you. Let somebody come and do this. Let somebody come and do this. When you have the ability or the capacity to be productive, and that is why it is paining most of us, because at the end of the day, our people are no longer productive. So before they came, our people were productive. Our people were productive. We had virtually factories in every compound. People were not hungry. Go and read the letter. One of the generals that came, a Portuguese general, wrote to I think the king of Belgium or so. He said he walked through the breadth and length of Africa. He did not see a single beggar. He did not see a single beggar. One single beggar he did not see. He did not see any destitute. He saw people. He said, how can we overcome these people? How can we overcome this? They say, by taking away their spirituality. Let's take away their religion and give them our own religion. That was what they concluded. And they took away that which meant everything to us. Because if you really want to destroy a people, you attack them spiritually. Maka, in our place, they say not when you cut a tree, the leaf does not die immediately. It takes time. It will start withering till the whole thing dries up and the leaf begins to fall. And at the end of the day, the tree will dry up and become a dry tree. That was what they did to us. Gradually, they took away our religion, took away our culture, took away. In most African nations, you can never hear any African name. Took away our identity. Most of us that retained our African names is because we were lucky. They would have taken that away too. Most of the African nations that Islam conquered, you can never hear any traditional name. Is Musa, Ali, Beko. You will hear names. You will hear Muslim names. There is no other African name. Go to places like Ivory Coast. Go to places like Burkina Faso. People have lost their traditional name. There is no identity. The only thing they know is Islam. Destroy us as a people. It's just those who were, I wouldn't say fortunate. They themselves also passed, as they are suffering their own identity loss. Those who were colonized by the so-called Christians. And the Christians were about to do the same. Because when you bring a child to so-called church, they will ask you to give him baptismal name. And it has to be an English name, whether you like it or not. Or a French name. So these are the things that we suffered. These are the things that our people suffered. And at the end of the day, look at where we are. And we are opening your eyes to understand that nothing that these people gave us was for us. Everything they gave us was to make us worship them. To put us in a place that we will serve them and serve them forever. But our ancestors forbid it. Our ancestors forbid it. That is why they have woken people up. Many of us have come back. We are those ancestors that went. We have come back to wake you, our children, up. To open your eyes and make you understand that you've been in slavery all this while. That they did not put chain on your neck does not mean that you are not a slave. They are the one that tells you how to live your life. They dictate the pace for you. From the life you live to the one you are expecting to live. Because they are the one that introduce the heaven that you are hoping and praying that they have enslaved you here on earth, and they want to also enslave you again in the spirit world. That is why they gave you the concept of heaven. So they are the ones that are introducing where you will end up spiritually. We are no longer talking about your physical enslavement. We are talking about spiritual enslavement. So how can a man, after enslaving you here, after ruling over you here, he will go and rule over you in your so-called heaven? My people, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Your ancestors taught you that there is nothing like heaven. That life is a circle. You die, you come back again. You reincarnate. But you've been taught by the same people that enslaved you that when you die, you will go to heaven. And these are the things that you need to do. But have you ever asked yourself, if those things that they say you should be doing, why are they themselves are not doing it? The white man told you about forgiveness. The white man told that if you steal somebody something, when the person needs it, you return it back so that you will be able to make heaven. Go and check all the people that have collected land in South Africa, all the white men who have farms, who knew that their forefathers never came with any land from Europe, that the land that they have is stolen from these indigenous people. How many of them have returned their land willingly? None. But yet they are the same people telling you that you shouldn't take what is not yours. Are you not stupid? They will only tell you things when it concerns you. When it concerns them, they will do the opposite. And you people are still believing them. Go and ask yourself. This one is, we're not talking about history now. We're talking about something that's happening in life. Go and check. Ask if there is any white man who have returned a plot of land to an African person, or return it to the government and say, I don't know who owns this land, but my father took it by force. Go. If there is anyone that have returned any land, then call me a liar. They've not returned. In fact, they have equipped themselves to fight for the land. They believe that it is their own. But it's not what the Bible told you. The Bible told you that you have to do what is called restitution. You have to return everything that you have stolen. So who is fooling who? It is you that is fooling yourself. You are still wasting your time and your day in the church. You are the one fooling yourself because these people are not living by the rules that they have made for you. Those rules were meant for you, not for them. They say if one slap you here, that you should turn here. Go and slap a white man here. Or slap your so-called pastor here. And then let me see if he is going to turn the next cheek for you. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with us as a people? When are we going to understand these stories and know that actually, yes, these things that these people have been saying, there is a truth, there are truths in it. Why don't you do your own findings? Why don't you do your own findings? They told you that it is wrong for one to take something that belongs to another. But I've said it, we have a practical example. South Africa is still there. The case is still current. The tension is still high. Even though in so many ways our South African brothers have proved, majority of them have proved how stupid and foolish they are. Because the only people that can attack are still their own brothers. Their own brothers. That is that colonial mentality. Many of them, their brain have been washed. So, but that is another story for another day. Now, what I'm trying to say is that the white men that took their land, they can't even approach them. But the white men that took their land, how many of these white men have returned these lands? Based on the fact that majority of these white people are still so-called Christians. Don't they want to go to heaven like you? It is only black man that is dreaming or dying of going to heaven. That is willing to give up his life to go to that heaven. How many white people are ready to do that? Many of you don't understand what you ask for. You don't understand what you get yourself into. Because they know it's a mirage. It's fiction. It's a story created. It's a story created. Where you see most of these powers they talk about is only on movies. On movies, most of the characters they introduce to you are things that your forefathers did. It doesn't happen in them. Superman, Spider-Man, whatever it is they have introduced to you, all these heroes, we are characters they created out of what happened in Africa, out of what happened amongst when there was divinity. When gods were only living on this earth. Today now it's mixed up. We have gods and we also have humans among the gods. But we know who the gods are. Many of us that are gods, we know ourselves. So we have gods and we have humans who are in the midst of the gods. And that is why there's a lot of confusion. Because you can never, as a god, you cannot live the life of a human. You cannot live the life of a human. As a god, you cannot live the life of a human. An ordinary human being. You can't. You must live like you are. The life of divinity. And that is the problem. But many of you are trying to define your life through books written by men, ordinary men. You are children of divinity. You are reading books written by children of humanity. How will it work? It can never work. It can never work. I was discussing with a brother this morning, and I told him, I said, look, you cannot. He told me he said he has been on drug for some time, and then the drug is not. I said it can never work on your body. You are not meant to heal your body with drugs. You are meant to heal your body with natural herbs. Drugs is chemical. It's only meant for those who are manufactured in the lab. You are not manufactured in the lab. You can naturally. So it can never work on you. It may work on certain people, but it will not work on you. I told the brother, I said drugs will not work on you. Stop deceiving yourself. And people we do not understand why certain things never work for us. Until we understand that there is a huge difference between divinity and humanity. There is a large difference between divinity and humanity. And we must understand that difference. We must understand that the lines are drawn. You cannot be in between. You cannot be in between. The connection that is existing between divinity and humanity is a very large line. You see, so we need to understand that. We need to understand that, and that is the problem. So if you are talking about, you are asking me where the chemical came from. Which chemical? You are asking me where the chemical came. You don't know what chemical is. Okay, as you are now, can you take lead and still live? You are asking me. You see, at times we ask stupid questions. You are asking where the chemical is. It anything that is? Can you drink raw gold and still live? There are things that are not meant for you. They are meant for the earth. So you don't ask stupid questions. What you as a human being is given to eat is herbs. Anything that grows, anything that has life in it. There are things that does not have life in it. It's not every water on this planet Earth that is good for consumption. There are some waters you cannot take because they are still waters. There are waters that does not have life in it. They are not moving. Any water that has oxygen in it is good. There are water that does not have oxygen in them. And this kind of waters you cannot drink them and expect to be okay. So also there are some certain things that you are not supposed to eat that are on this planet Earth. We know that everything came from the planet Earth, but there are so many things because of their decomposition or because of their formation. They are poisonous to your head. And most of these drugs are produced with some little quantity of those things. For example, we know about cocaine. We know how cocaine is being produced. And many drugs that we take they use cocaine to blend them. This is the truth. Go and ask anybody in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, apart from that, we know how most of these drugs are being manufactured in the lab. You know, most of these drugs, especially the ones they call virus. We don't need these things. There are natural ways of handling issues. Most of the drugs are not made from herbs. No. My brother Kinsley, you are getting the whole thing wrong. Don't deceive yourself. Most of the drugs are not made from herbs. Now go and check the word. If you did chemistry, you will understand that most of the drugs are not made from herbs. Some of them, yeah, quite well. There is a little percentage of herbs in them, but most of them are chemicals. Now, what is chemical? Chemical is most of the chemicals that we know of today are things that still came out of particles, maybe of dead issues or trees or whatever, or oil or whatever that is still on this earth. I understand that. It's not what I'm saying, but there is a process. Something will go through. It is no longer good for consumption, and it becomes poisonous. That is what we are saying. So most of those poisonous things, because when we say nature, for example, now, let me use fruit for instance. Let's say you have an apple. You pluck an apple from a tree. Now the apple you plucked from a tree is fresh. Is it not so? You cannot compare the same apple with an apple that has stayed 3-4 days with you, that you have plucked 3-4 days ago. They are not the same. Now an apple that has spoiled, that have maggots in it, you cannot still compare it with a fresh apple. Let's be real. Let's tell ourselves. Common sense will tell you that. So an apple that has also, decayed, and then you pack the decay part of it because it's an apple. It was an apple before, now it's decayed. You now start eating the decay part. Is it the same thing with an apple that is fresh? Common sense will tell you that it's not the same. So I don't know what you're saying by that. We know that most of the drugs, they make it from herbs, but the question you ask yourself, what do they go through process? Flour that they use for bread is gotten from wheat or many things that have carbohydrates in them. Now that's what they make flour from. But you cannot compare flour with the real food when the harvest is done directly. Flour is a food that has gone through process. So it is not healthy. And that is why many people don't eat baked things. So let us not, you have common sense. Your sense should teach you that. So that something that have gone through process is no longer as good as when it has not gone through any process. That is what we are saying. So many chemicals, fine, they get it from herbs. But at the end of the day, because of the process they go through, they are not good for you. There is nobody living on earth today that is not a human being, that is not a physical human being. But like we said, so many people are produced from, we have what is original. What is original? For example, I don't know how to explain it for you. I don't know. I'm trying to come down to a level whereby you can be able to, reason into what we are saying. But all the same, it's like, I have to continue with what I'm saying. Maybe another day we will talk about this. So what I'm trying to say is this. The chemicals that you take are not meant for you. They are not actually meant for you. They are not meant for you. Everything nature has provided everything that you need as a people to live a life that you have it all. You have it all. But we have given way and we have embraced that. We have given way to that which is not good to take place in our life when nature has provided us with all that we need as a people. Now, that is why many of us are having issues with our health. With our health. First of all, we have lost our spiritual balance. Secondly, physically, we have lost it. We have lost our physical track. We eat every rubbish in the name of fast food. We eat every rubbish. We eat every rubbish. because we know that we will take one or two drugs. But there is no drug. Let me shock you. There is no drug. It doesn't matter how you look at it. There is no drug that does not have any side effect. Go and check. Go and check. If you buy any drug, no matter, even if it's just for ordinary headache, you will see it has side effect. There is no drug manufactured in the lab that does not have any side effect. And let me shock you. The truth of the matter is that they are only telling you what they want you to know. There are so many bad things about the drug that you are not being told. They will not say it because they want to sell their market. So they will only bring out the ones that they want you to know. So what they are giving you is not up to 50% of the information that you need to know about the drug. It's simple. You can argue it if you want. But the truth of the matter is that the pharmaceutical industries are not there to lose. They are also business-minded. So they can never tell you anything bad, except, of course, if their drugs cause a major problem. Maybe in a city or so, many people falls victim to that treatment or that drug or that injection. And then they will not come out open to apologize. And then maybe pay compensation or whatever, or then they will declare the truth. But as long as it is maybe one or two people complaining about the effect, they will not come out and they will not withdraw it from the market. But there is no drug today that is good for human consumption. I have to be frank with you. It's as simple as that. But many of them are worst. Many of them are worst. There is no drug today that is good for human consumption, but many of them are worst. But that is not why we are here. Like I said, what it takes, as a matter of fact, what it takes is our ability to understand who we are and stop trying to fix ourselves under those who are supposed to be looking up to us. We did not come out of any Abraham, neither did we generate from any generation of Muhammad. The whole Abrahamic religion, it does not matter what it is, they all were formed based on the life that my father, your father, our forefathers lived. That is how these stories were created. It is based on the life or the legacy that our ancestors lived, the legacy that they themselves dropped. But today, you are being carried away by the so painted and well-crafted and organized lies that you have abandoned the ways of your forefathers. That African spirituality becomes a thing, an eyesore, a thing of stigma, a thing of reproach, a thing of shame to you. When they call you a Christian or a Muslim, your shoulders are high, you are proud. But when they call you an African spiritualist, you get angry because you don't want to associate yourself with them because of the nonsense movies that you watch in Nollywood and other stupid African production outfits. You see? So you look at it. Thank you, my brother. Yes, you are right. The preservative added to any food can make it toxic. Apart from that, there is a lot of chemicals in them. A lot. Did they not discover in Kenya that the drugs that World Health Organization with UNICEF, they are admitting to our young women there in Kenya and also married women are drugs that will destroy their body system and make it impossible for them to conceive and the child will stay. What are we saying? The question you ask yourself, do we in Africa need to import drugs from India or from from America or from Europe or from Asia. We don't. We have everything that is in Africa to heal. We have everything that is in Africa to heal ourselves. It's about time our government starts shutting down all the drug companies in Africa. We have everything in Africa to make our land healthy. Do we need to import food from outside Africa? We don't. We don't need to import any food from outside Africa. Our problem is that we have been misled. We have been misled. Africa have the best land in the whole world. There is no crops that cannot grow in African soil. There is no crops. There is nothing we cannot plant in Africa. There is nothing we cannot harvest in Africa. But at the end of the day, what is happening? We as a people have neglected the potential of the soil that we have. We have neglected it. We have abandoned it. And we are now looking up to, can you believe that people are importing pizza from London? Nigerians are the most stupid set of human beings. I'm telling you. We have everything. We have the market. But many people are using advantage of that market that we have. Everything that the world rejects, they sell to us. I remember when Macy's company produced one of their worst products. It was called Macy's 190. Nobody was ready to buy it. It was during the Shagari regime. Nigeria was the only company that they rejected. And that's why if you go around the world, you see that Nigeria is the one that has more of that Macy's 190, if not all self. They brought it and we bought. And that alone sustained the Macy's factory. I remember when the Wood Racer produced their first car. The Wood Racer, when they produced it. It was a flop. Other nations rejected it. Nigeria bought the whole. What am I going? How many things will I say? When now we have a Nigerian company that is producing cars. The same way the Nigerian government supported all these other external, all these other outside companies. They are not supporting that indigenous company. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? The only thing we go for is what these people have rejected. We have no standard. Our people will still travel to all this. We are talking about that the drugs are chemicals. Our people will still travel to all these places that they go to import these drugs. They will tell them that, look, they will even advise them how to mix the poison. And they will import it. And those who are supposed to check the drug, if it is of standard, will approve it and they will still sell it to the poor masses. It's about time the poor, since you yourselves cannot go, since you want to drink drugs, you cannot travel abroad to go and buy your own drugs, and you're not sure of what they are selling. Why don't you take the one that you are sure? Why don't you take the one that you are sure? You know the mango leaf that is behind your house. You know that the mango is real. It is not fake. You have seen that nchangu that is at the back of your door. The nchangu is not fake. Why don't you take the mango and the nchangu and mix them and get what you want? The olubu leaf that you planted, you yourself, is not fake. Why are you using your money to buy what will kill you, when you can get exactly what you want without even spending any money? What are we saying? What are we saying? It's about time our people will come out of this mess that they have decided to put themselves in intentionally. It's about time we come out of it. By reasoning like normal people, by using our brain, by reasoning, making use of our common sense. We have everything as a people to heal ourselves. We have everything as a people to keep ourselves fine. We have everything, whatever it takes, we have it. Africa is blessed. Africa is blessed, but we are still depending on foreign importations. We are depending on foreign, everything we import, even the things that we have. Today now, where I come from, we used to be the highest manufacturers of palm oil, palm fruit. In fact, there are many people that made millions with it. Chukwemeka Odumegwu's father became a millionaire selling palm fruit and exporting palm oil. So who says there is no money in it? But today now, Malaysia, Indonesia, all of them, they have overtaken us. They came to our place to collect the palm fruit, and they collected what they used and they planted it in their place. And today they are the highest producer. You see how we are losing it? You see how we are losing it? Because we are still, we have this mentality that we will keep importing. We will keep importing. We will keep importing. We produce oil. To start with, the nation they are calling Nigeria today says it's an oil-producing nation. But the fuel, the gas, the kerosene that they use in this place is being imported. You export crude oil. The same people you export the crude oil to, whether they buy it or they pay for it or they don't pay, I don't know. Whether you people give it to them free, I don't know. But then we still go back to them to buy finished product from them. When we have about 5 or 6 refineries that is wasted, nobody wants to spend money to repair them. You see how stupid the average black man is? He's always dependent on others for his well-being. How can you put your life in the hand of others? Is it not stupidity? Is it not stupidity of the highest order? You have food, you have raw food in your house that you can as well cook and eat. You take the raw food, you go and sell to a restaurant. You sell it to those who are selling restaurant, the whole food in your house. And then you go to their restaurant to go and eat every day. Are you not stupid? Are you not stupid? What it will cost you is for you to buy stove or you buy cooker, whether it is electric cooker or gas cooker, and then buy pot and spoon and plate and start cooking in your own house while you are still selling foodstuffs to them. And then you also be cooking in your own house and you also be eating the one you've prepared, because the food actually is coming from you. The raw food is coming from you. So why are you not dependent? Why are you looking forward to eating in a restaurant when you can prepare the same food, because you are the one supplying them the food? Everything they are using to cook, the meat, everything is coming from you. But you yourself, you are looking forward to going there to eat every day. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. True, it doesn't make any sense. This is what we are doing. This is what our government is doing. We produce the oil, but we go and buy finished product, finished petroleum product from them. It's stupidity. It's stupidity of the highest order. Who does that? Countries that have no petroleum, they are building refineries because they know that there is money in refineries. You that have petroleum, you cannot even, the ones that you have, you can't repair them. It's total madness. There's a lot of things, I'm just using this one to cite example. There's a lot of things we are doing, and you guys, you know that these things we are doing, they are not right. That is the way we sold out our spirituality to go and then embrace Christianity and Islam. Something that was carved out of the original spirituality that we have. We gave away our spirituality and embraced Islam. We embraced Christianity and threw away the original, because we are a people that desire so much about fake. We are in love with fake. We are passionate about fake. So we don't like the original. What we want to go is for fake. And that is what we have today. We are Christians. We are Christians because it came from Europe. Christianity came from Europe. Christendom came from Europe. We are Muslims because it's an Arabian thing. You want to belong. You want to be part of what is happening in Arab, and that is why many of you will waste your hard-earned money. You want to go to Jerusalem. You want to go to Rome You want to go to Mecca. You have to pay for visa. You have to. There's a lot of things we are doing that doesn't make any sense. And today now, there is a traditional ruler that has spoken to you and made you understand that what you've been searching all this while is something that is already where you are standing. That there is no other holy ground except the place in which you live. There is no other holy ground except that land which you were born, the place that you were given birth to, the place that your ancestors came from. That is where the holy ground lies. He said it and he didn't mix word about it. So many of you that will still be sitting in certain congregations and allow so-called pastors or whatever to still feed you with lies, then it's either you've lost your mind or you are really stupid. Let me just use the word. Excuse me for my word, but that is what it is. Because there is nothing anybody can tell you now. To explain away what the Oni of Ife has said. There is nothing anybody can tell you to explain that away. He said it the way it is, and that is just what it is. Your ancestors were the first on earth. The first humans that lived on earth came from them, because they were divine. They were divine beings, not just human beings. And they produced the first human that lived on earth. The first human that lived on earth came from them, came from your ancestors. Because your ancestors were the divinity that produced the first humanity. So you did not come out of them, they came out of you. They came out of you. Put it in your head. If you don't know anything, let this be the only thing that you will take away from this conversation. You did not come out of them, they came out of you. Abraham came out of you, if he ever existed. They came out of you. They came out of you. The Oni of Ife said it all. And many of you that have not listened to that comment, you should go and look for that comment. He made it plain. He told you who you are, especially you so-called Igbos. He told you that we were all together in that thick forest. And it began in that place. What he's trying to say is that everything that began in Africa. In West Africa, that is where life began. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And as long as you have this color, as long as you have this kind of hair, we are all from one ancestor. We are all one. They have deceived us long enough. It's about time we understand the truth and we embrace the truth. We are one big family. One big family. That is why everything that we do, whether it is culture, whether it is religion, whether it is spirituality, everything that we do looks similar. Because it's just one people. That their tongue, their language, their way of communication revolved and differed with time, because we've been here millions of years. We are not. Who told that that the earth is about 6,000 years ago? Who said that? Who told you that? So he made the comment, and once he made that point, if you have not believed anyone, I think the Oni of Ife, his comment should be enough for you to understand that all that we've been saying all this while is nothing but the truth. That you are the one that produced every other person. Your so-called Jewish people, if Abraham existed, though, if David existed, though, they came out of you, not you coming out of them. Everything that was created from out of you. Remember he said, in his comment he said, when divinity only dwelled on the earth, there was no humanity. But it was through divinity that humanity was created. Before then, during the time of divinity, that was when we were here alone. Before we created mankind. And that is the era of humanity. And today now you are saying that you came out of humanity when it was a humanity that came out of divinity. But today now we are saying that divinity came out of humanity. Is that not madness? You are the sons of the gods. How can you come out of the children of men? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense at all. Because even the Bible told you that God, you, the gods, created man in their own image. It was the God that created man, not man created God. So we need to understand who we are. He made a very powerful comment. And that comment is something that is supposed to live in your heart and in your mind for the rest of your life. He spoke like the Oba he is. He spoke like the king that he is. He spoke the truth because every throne of royalty is established on the truth, on the platform of truth. He spoke the truth. And we should celebrate him for that. And not just him. We also as a people should also understand who we are. Because he said it all. That we are the first people here on earth. Before humans were created. You know, when we talk about creation before creation, people will start looking at us as if we've lost it. But I'm happy that most of these things are coming out. And people are trying to confirm the things that we've been saying all this while. But all the same, I wouldn't want to take more of your time. It's been a wonderful, evening, talking with you and having this conversation. But what I will want us to do is this. If you have not done your own research, go and do your research. Find out more about yourself. Forget about it. Many of you, if they tell you to go and do research, you still go back to the Bible. And the Bible cannot show you anything. It will still take you from one lie to another lie. That is the point. You cannot look for what to use to confirm something and you look for another lie to confirm a lie. It doesn't make any sense. Why don't you, for once, step out of the box and make your own findings? You'll be surprised at what you will stumble at. Because if what you are trying to defend is the truth, it will hold. It doesn't matter where you go to. So, since you are afraid of it holding, then that means it's not the truth. You are not even sure of what you have. For example, I don't need to do any defense to prove to you that I am a man, that I'm not a woman. Even if you wake me up anytime, I can still defend myself and tell you that, look, I am a man. The truth is always, it holds. It does, no matter what you do. Even if you tell the whole world that I'm a woman, I can still defeat you with few words. I don't need to even stress myself. I can still prove to the world that I am a man. So if what you have, like you're claiming, is actually the truth, then don't be afraid it's going to hold. But you are afraid because you know what you have is not the truth. You're not even sure of what you have. And that is why you are afraid. That is why you fear. But I don't want us to go there. I don't want us to, dwell on that. What I want you to do is go and do your findings. Many of us have spoken. We've been saying it even before the Union of Ife said it. That life started here. That we are the first. And that we didn't come out from any Abraham. That Abraham came out of us. If actually he existed. But many of you have started us. But I'm happy now that an authority, a strong authority, have spoken. He is a father in a clan that exists in Africa. And he said it with all sincerity and with all boldness. And you know that any word that has been spoken cannot be taken back. So what the Eni of Ife said is deeper than you can imagine. There is so many implications about it. So he couldn't have been lying. And I know he would never lie. So, but it is food for thought. To so many of you who are still in doubt if Christianity is real or not, that should be a wake-up call. For you to understand that Christianity is as fake as it can be. The same as Islam. The same as Islam. Don't be deceived. I'm sorry to sound blunt like this, but the truth is that they are as fake as they can be. I don't want to go spiritual. No. I want us to keep the whole thing the way it is. I just want to talk to us based on facts and figures, things that we can relate to. Because I don't want to start going, because some people will say that when you start going spiritual, it's like as if I'm taking the whole thing out of context. But no, that's why I try to make this conversation plain. Let's look at realities. Realities. And that is just what it is. Christianity is as fake as it can be. There is nothing more fake than it. That is why the Bible has been a weapon of destruction. The Quran has been a weapon of destruction. It has destroyed many. It has rendered people useless, especially Africans. That is why there is no nation in Africa that is working. That is why you see Africans reasoning like goat. Look at the way South African people are killing their own brothers. Just for the fact that somebody told you that this is a boundary, that where you are staying is. What is South Africa? South Africa, is it the name of a place? The name Africa, is it supposed to be our name? Somebody told that where you stay, this is Nigeria. We believe these things, and yet we still expect them to treat us like human beings. They know that we are animals, because if we are not animals, we will ask for what is ours. Today I had somebody, I think this is also arguing in a platform, trying to quarrel with people that they are saying that they shouldn't be discussing about politics. Politics have destroyed us. We don't have anything to do with the white man's politics. The name they have given, it doesn't matter what the name is or how real you think that name is not our name. It can never be. For example, we are Igbos, and Igbos will remain. Our brothers are Yorubas, and Yorubas they remain. So what are we saying? Why should we? You cannot call a Bini man to change his name from Bini to Edo. No. Edo is a name a government given name. Bini is Bini. When will all this rubbish stop? When will we stop all this nonsense? An Igbo man chooses to be an Igbo man, and you are saying that because he's not accepting to be called Biafra, and then that is nonsense. He is Igbo, and that is who he is. He doesn't go further than that. He is Igbo and he is Igbo. That is what it is. Yes, Igbo is a language, and Igbo is also the name of the place. Just the same way English is a language, and England is also the name of the place. The same way that Spain is the name of a place, and Spanish is a language. French is the name of a place. France is the name of a place, and French is a language. You should stop deceiving yourselves. That Igbo is a language does not mean. It's only here that you see that kind of nonsense. How can you bear a different name from where it is nations that are being created that bear such names? They answer a different name and they speak a different language. Original lands don't change. Original lands don't change. The name they answer is the language they speak. Original grants. They don't change. And Hausa man, doesn't he speak Hausa? Is Hausa just a language? Hausa is a territory. And the language they speak is Hausa language. What is wrong with us? Why do we reason like people that their brain is not working? I think I have to let it go, but I just want us to really, consider that which we've had, from one of our fathers, the Oni of Ife. He said that the Igbos are the first, and there was a time we and the Yorubas were dwelling at that thick forest, Ile-Ife, and we did not come out of the Jewish people. Rather, the Jewish people came out of us. So that means what in all is that if actually Abraham existed, Abraham came out of us. So let us start from there. If you have not done your own findings, go and do your own work. Let that be the platform which you will stand upon and begin to do your. I'm talking about most of you who are still soaked your. Because at times you can be stupidly stubborn. Stubborn in a stupid form. At times you can also be stubborn in a reasonable way. But there are many of you who are stubborn in a form that is is nothing to write home about. And to you, I'm talking to you. Christianity was never created to help you, whether it is spiritually, physically, emotionally, or even financially. Christianity was created to dupe you emotionally, to rob you psychologically, to rob you spiritually, to rob you also financially. That was why Christianity was created. Not just Christianity, Islam and all the rest of them. They were all created to rob you of everything that makes you you. And they are doing a good job at it. Let me leave you guys. It's getting dark, and but I know that we will soon be having a series that will really take us, to through what we are supposed to be discussing, our spiritual. In Christendom, try to walk away from the place. Walk away. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. Walk away. What did I say? Walk away. You are in a graveyard. It doesn't matter whether you are in Islam or Christianity, you are in a graveyard. What is killing you is where you are. Walk away. So I hope the message has gotten to all of us. Like I said, I'm still your brother, Mazi. Have a pleasant day.